I was wondering if you got it to work and you were just making fun of me.
No, I was making fun of you, but not in the way you thought.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Oh, I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good. Nothing I want to complain about. Sorry about taking yesterday off. I just needed a break. And instead of pushing myself like I would in other times and having a bad show, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to take the night off. So took a night off. And we're back. And we got some stuff to talk about. RJ, thank you so much for the membership. Hola, Monkey, back from summer camp. Might have gotten sunburnt. Pretty sure I'll be uphealing. Fair enough. Aloe's your friend on a sunburn. Jack, we got a very nice comment from somebody on the last video. And I just want to say once again, we have the best audience ever.
That's very true. Before we get to that, though, thank you, Adabisi, who says, howdy, Jack. Hi, Adabisi. Hope you're doing well.
We have the absolute best audience. And in our audience is Shell, and it's Shell's birthday. Well, Shell's birthday is actually tomorrow, but they won't be able to make the show. So they asked if we'd sing tonight. Or their birthday's tonight, and they can't make it. So they asked if we'd sing it. I forget the exact mathematics in it, but it's a chance for me to sing happy birthday. So, Shell, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shell. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great one. Really, really do. Birthdays are awesome. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. All right, Jack. We got news and things to talk about. Some of it scary. Some of it funny, in my opinion. Some of it depressing, I guess, and some of it just absurd. So let's start with the absurd, shall we?
Indeed.
Now, guys, this one is hi Nuts. How are you, sweetie? This one is just kind of random. Roseanne Barr was arguing with Ann Coulter, but only because Ann Coulter was being retarded. I don't know if she finally squeezed her neck too much and cut off the blood supply or what the hell happened. But yeah, let's go to the Twitter files, shall we? Roseanne Barr tweets out this meme and says, remember that time you said the Steele dossier was credible and Hunter's laptop wasn't? That was awesome. It's a picture of Chris Farley talking to somebody, and the other person's face is major news organizations. Clearly, this is directed at major news organizations.
I don't know how you got that idea.
Because I'm not retarded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Anne, she's got a comeback for this. She says, Bill Barr's position on the Steele dossier was exactly the opposite, and he denounced the Trump intelligence officers who called Hunter Biden's laptop Russian disinformation. Does the Trump cult have anything other than BS conspiracy theories?
We got Melania.
What the hell does it have to do with Bill Barr?
Nothing. I told you, it's because there's a fat dude in the image.
And the name Barr in the... I'm convinced it has something to do with it being Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, well, old lady eyesight, you know.
You have Barr in the name of the person who uploaded it. You have a fat guy in the image. I guess I could see the connection to Bill Barr. But I just don't understand.
Who knows?
And she hasn't taken it down, realizing what a dumbass she is, even though several people have told her what a dumbass she is. So apparently she just wants everybody to know what a dumbass she is. So in case anybody was wondering, Ann Coulter, dumbass. That's the kind of stuff that amuses me on Twitter, Jack.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Ann Coulter. Did she suffer like a TBI or something? Because she didn't used to be this stupid.
In fairness to Ann, she has some problems with Trump being less than conservative. because he's not a conservative guy.
No, but he's never made any bones about that. He has done some pretty conservative stuff, but it's never been like he's a hardcore conservative.
And Annie has to keep up, provocateuring in order to be relevant, because otherwise nobody cares about her.
I guess.
She's unattractive. She's got a neck that scares children. And I mean, otherwise, there's really nothing important about her. Golf City Nicholas Donka, thank you so much for becoming a member. Really do appreciate it. And over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Adebisi. Just watched Ron Perlman in the movie Quest for Fire. I swear there's never been better casting in Tinseltown. God bless America.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't need any makeup for Ron. It's fine. Move along.
That dude looks like a goddamn ape. I'm just saying. Anyway, so Ann Coulter's an idiot, Jack. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression a few years back.
Should we get to the scary stuff? Let's do the scary stuff first.
Yeah, let's do the scary stuff.
We'll do the scary stuff, and then we'll get into the also scary stuff.
Slightly laterally scary in a different way kind of stuff.
Yeah, the DOJ abusing their powers scary on a whole different kind of plane. Yeah. Let's get to the let's just say it. I've never seen anything like this. Mysterious Chinese biolab discovered in remote California city. Why would a biolab run by a shady Chinese company be operating in Reedley or Redley? I'm not sure which way you say that. California in the central San Joaquin Valley. That's a good question. It's an excellent question. What was supposed to be an empty building used only for storage was home to a black market type of lab testing facility. I don't know that you could even call it that.
It looked like a meth lab. No, there's things people called biopunks. I talked about this on my stream yesterday. There's places in New York and some of the big cities where there's shared labs, and you could buy time to work in the labs. And anybody could come in and rent space out and work on stuff. There's like a bunch of stuff provided, and you could bring your own. This looks more like a meth lab.
Hang on. In chat, Snowflame says, Jack beat you to this, boomer. Who do you think shared this and suggested we should talk about it on the show?
Yeah, I told him about it because I didn't think he'd seen it.
And you were right. I hadn't.
And let's face it, I have significantly fewer viewers. So I thought the Monkey of the Morning crowd would probably want to know about this as well, because this is a major story that nobody's talking about.
It's no different than when you're not on a show and I bring up an article from the day before to get your opinion on it. We do this when we can't discuss stuff together. It's not boomerness.
Well, I mean, you are kind of a boomer.
I am younger than you.
Nobody ever seems to believe that.
I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm just some hitchhiker you picked up on the side of the road, dude. I don't know.
YourCentralValley.com reports that the discovery was made after a local code enforcement officer noticed this garden hose poking out of the back wall of the building. Like you do.
You know, you're like strolling around and you're like, oh, look, a hose.
I don't want to scroll down.
I
don't want to scroll down to show the next picture till we read the next part. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if this guy hadn't actually done his job and gotten a little curious, this never would have got found.
Yeah, and we'll get to the scary part in a moment, guys. Public health staff also observed blood, tissue, and other bodily fluids, samples and serums. The tissue part there kind of makes me, were they just taking chunks of skin?
Yeah, you know, probably off some homeless people.
Thousands of unlabeled fluids and suspected biological material. I'm sorry, you were saying?
For some reason, I can't seem to type in chat, so I apologize in advance to that. So
here's the lab, y'all. Here's the Jack, that doesn't look like any kind of official lab where they should be doing any kind of blood testing, any kind of
Right?
tissue sampling, any kind of biohazard, anything. They
Yeah,
shouldn't even be checking pee at this lab.
They shouldn't even be making meth in this lab.
No, no.
Assassin pointed out there's a military base somewhere not far from here because this is over by Fresno.
I don't know how close it is to that. California's a big ass state, so
yeah.
Additionally, they found 900 genetically engineered mice engineered to catch and carry COVID-19 living in inhumane conditions. 773 of the mice had to be euthanized, and officials found another 178 mice already dead. I'm just curious about, okay, if you put those numbers together, it's much more than 900. So that's not where they get the 900 from. That means there's still 127 of these mice still alive that they were trying to give COVID to.
Or the herpaderp.
We'll get to that too. This is an unusual situation. I've been in government for 25 years and I've never seen anything like this, said Reedley City Manager Nicole Ziba. Even county health officials were left in shock. I've never seen this in my 26-year career with the County of Fresno, said Assistant Director of the Fresno County Department of Public Health, Joe Prado. Here's the fun part, you guys. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention tested the substances and detected at least 20 potentially infectious agents, including coronavirus, HIV, hepatitis, and herpes, according to a Health and Human Service letter dated June 6th. Are they sure this isn't where Hunter Biden was holed up?
Where do you think the samples came from?
Agents also found thousands of packaged boxes, many with shipping labels from China. Below is a photo included in court documents in California. This is a biolab, you guys. It's a biolab where they had herpes and COVID.
Totally safe, guys. Totally safe. Look, if there was an outbreak, it would obviously be a California pangolin.
Of course. NBC News reports that investigation found the tenant was Prestige. I was giving them more. Prestige, yes. It's just Prestige Biotech, a company registered in Nevada and unlicensed for business in California. City officials spoke with Jiaquin. Am I even close?
No.
Jiaquin Yao, who was identified as the company's president, through emails included in the court documents. Yao told officials that Prestige Biotech moved assets belonging to a defunct company, Universal MedTech Incorporated, to the Reedley warehouse from Fresno after UMI went under. Prestige Biotech was a creditor to UMI and identified it as its successor, according to court documents. Officials were unable to get any California-based address for either company, except for the previous Fresno location from which UMI had been evicted. According to this guy, they just took all of this from this other Meditech company and just threw it all in here in their little biolab, which wasn't even there, according to any records anybody can find. Yeah,
they just threw everything in this storage area. And we're like, there's nothing going on there. That's not a lab. It's a storage room.
The other address provided for identified authorized agents were either empty offices or addresses in China that could not be verified, court documents said.
Oh, look, shell companies. That's not frightening.
As Kyle Bass asked in a brief Twitter thread, is this illegal lab? Illegal abs, Jack. That's abs, what I want to have.
Abs be legal.
The tip of the iceberg, how many additional bioagent labs will be found? Well, probably none, because the only reason this was found was because there was a fucking hose out the back.
Yeah, because some building inspector was like, "Hey, wait a minute, this isn't right. We should do our jobs."
And you can fix that problem with just putting a little shed right up against the back of the building.
Yep.
So that your hose isn't being seen. This was a lucky find. The lab was discovered by Reedley, California city code enforcement officers when they saw a garden hose attached to the building and investigated. This investigation into this illegal Chinese biolab must be handled by the highest levels of U.S. law enforcement to determine a comprehensive plan. They're not going to do shit. Stop it.
No.
Stop it. They ain't doing
We're
fuck
a
all.
vassal state for the Chinese. They're not going to do anything. They're too busy doing all the other shenanigans.
Look, man, that's where Hunter's going to have a tax write-off.
That's where he stores his hooker bodies.
I'm very curious what's in all those boxes.
Probably dispersal devices.
And likely. I mean, I'm sure some of them have syringes.
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna pass out to the homeless or something and get a nice disease going through the bums in California.
Wouldn't that be? I mean, I'm not telling the Chinese to do this, but if you wanted to infect a population, make these little needles, have them infected already, seal them up and send them to one of these things that's doing free needle outreach.
Yep, I thought of that.
Ugh, that's disturbing.
It's very disturbing. California has the most homeless in the entire nation, and they tend to be very transient because they're homeless. So they go back to where they came from in the summer months and return to California in the winter. So it'd be easy to infect a bunch of people and then disperse it all across the country in a short period of time.
Yeah, this is a scary story. It really, really is, and
nobody's talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it. I mean, I'm shocked to see that even they do mention NBC looked into it, but this should be a major story everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. And it happened over a month ago. They found it in June.
They find an illegal lab that has got coronavirus, HIV, hepatitis, and herpes in it.
Yep.
And they're like, none to see here. We wrote a little story. And we couldn't find anything else out about it.
Well, I mean, look, they've already got police stations here. Sure, we found a bunch of Chinese nationals trying to get into the U.S. through the southern border and probably through Canada. But, I mean, the Chinese are our friends. They're the good people. They have the spark of divinity, monkey. And they gave Biden a whole bunch of money.
The chef says, so what I'm hearing is we need to isolate all homeless on a barge in the middle of the ocean. Yes. That's what we were going for. You know, on our last stream, Jack, my internet went out, the storms and stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
And Frosted Glass pointed out just an amazing blip that happened because of that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, right as that happened, I was reintroducing or saying we're getting back to Vivek with whatever he's talking about. And so we go back to him and he just says, racism. And then silence. Gulf City Nicholas, thank you again. Definitely not going there now. What, to California? Yeah, it's a dangerous place. But here's the thing about that. All of our conspiracy theories about infecting homeless aside, what's to stop them from doing this anywhere?
Nothing. It took forever for them to. I mean, what was it? 6 months between when we first read about the Chinese police stations before they actually raided 2 of them.
Well, that's and when we first read about them, they told us there's none in the U.S.
Yeah. Oh, that's not real. That's just rumor.
Yeah.
And then they raided 2 of them.
So, let's move on to scary news of a different sort. The criminal justice system being used against people for political reasons.
Well, like you're a dirty wrong thinker. You're a dirty wrong thinker.
These damn dirty wrong thinkers. DoJ tries to jail key Hunter Biden witness Devin Archer on eve of congressional testimony. For those of you who were asking who is that in the thumbnail, is Mr. Archer here. He is a former business partner of Hunter Biden, and he's expected to testify tomorrow that Hunter had his dad make phone calls for him when his dad was still vice president.
Oh, yeah, I'm with Moonshock. There's nothing to see here. Move along.
None to see.
Look,
None to see.
They're
here.
just going to arrest a key witness. Come on. That's a right-wing conspiracy. Just because the guy's going to testify on Monday, we need to lock him up. It's totally unrelated.
Pyrus says,
silly.
Now, monkey, this is a conspiracy theory. The Krasensteins, I'm going to keep saying it that way, told me so. And if you can't trust con men, who can you trust? That is a very, very good question.
Now, I believe it was said best by Jack Nicholson. Hubba, 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 who do you trust?
Comer was on television, I think this morning, talking about this. And he's like, since when does the Department of Justice send out a letter on a Saturday?
Yeah. Yeah, it was on with Maria Bartiromo.
Yeah, and there's a reason we're not watching that clip is because I can't stand that woman.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
And it's nothing about her, it's her voice and her inflections. I can't take it.
Monkey is voicist. You heard it here first.
I did, because it was in a video I was watching. I mean, I guess we could watch it. Do I have it? I don't remember if I have it.
I gave you the link in DMs.
Oh, do you? Which one?
Yeah. Our Twitter DMs.
Twitter DMs.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
before
going.
the show.
Oh, yeah, that was in that video. Okay. I saw the tweet. I wasn't paying attention. I was reading instead of watching videos. That's what I normally do.
I know. It's why I'm shocked.
I typically read and ignore the video until afterwards in case I do want to read it. All right, so we'll switch to this one just to give the context here of how normal this is for something like this to happen. Again, Devin Archer's supposed to testify tomorrow. Alan, thank you so much for the donation with no message. Appreciate it, my friend. Hope you're well.
Hi, Alan.
Devin is supposed to get up there and give his testimony, and then this happens.
I want to ask you about your investigation, but first, let me get
seriously her fucking voice, man.
I know.
Oh, this is gonna be hard for me, y'all. Cast One, thank you. DOJ, now take a long, hard look at this live feed of your family. To help, let's put a crosshair on them. Now, what was that about the Bidens? Indeed.
Yeah, pretty much.
this breaking news. I have in my hand a letter from the Department of Justice that was sent to the Southern District of New York on Saturday. By the way, Devin Archer is testifying on Monday. Do you usually see the DOJ send letters like this out on a Saturday?
Never. This is the first time I've ever heard of the Department of Justice doing anything on a Saturday.
Right.
So what is this letter?
They're government workers. They're not there on Saturday and Sundays.
No, it has to be something major. Somebody had to make a phone call for this to happen on a Saturday.
Yep.
Can you walk us through it? The government is apprising the court of the status of Devin Archer's appeal of his judgment of conviction, and they request...
Oh, we should bring this up. Devin Archer was convicted of, what, defrauding some Mexicans or something?
Something stupid like that.
Yeah, he was convicted of it. He's out right now pending his appeal.
Real quick. Thank you, Alan, who says, hello, Jack. Hey, Alan. Everything going good, I hope.
That the court set a surrender date for the defendant to report to a facility. Please walk us through what this letter says.
Yeah, the letter from the Department of Justice is trying to nudge the judge to go ahead and sentence Devin Archer for something unrelated to what we're going to be talking to him about tomorrow. It's odd that it was issued on a Saturday, and it's odd that it's right before he's scheduled to come in to have an opportunity to speak in front of the House Oversight Committee and tell.
He says odd, and I say planned.
Yeah, I would say this is there's something shady going on because nobody in government does shit like this on the weekend unless some higher up called them and said, do this now. This is really, it goes beyond odd to the fact that this is like conspiracy level territory.
And look, once he was subpoenaed and everybody knew he was coming in, there's not a good time for DOJ to do this.
Yeah, but doing it the day, like 2 days before, on a weekend, no, there's some string pulling here, and it's so blatantly obvious that it's almost up there with the Epstein crap.
Yeah.
Tell the American people the truth about what really went on with Burisma. So, I don't know if this is a coincidence, Maria, or if this is another example of the weaponization of the Department of Justice.
Look, Comer, I realize you got to say that because you're a congressman and you're trying to keep them from coming after you and your family. But this is not a coincidence.
No, not at all.
They do this the weekend before he's going up there to testify. Fuck off. And it's DOJ getting involved here.
But I can tell you this, the lengths to which the Biden legal team has gone to try to intimidate our witnesses, to coordinate with the Department of Justice, and to certainly coordinate with the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee to encourage people not to cooperate with our investigation, to encourage banks not to turn over bank records, to encourage Treasury not to let us have access to those suspicious activity reports. It's very troubling, and I believe that this is another violation of the law. This is obstruction of justice, but nevertheless, we're going to continue to.
All right, so there you go. There's Comer talking about it, and I agree with him. Other than him pussyfooting around the fact that this is the Biden DOJ intimidating a witness.
Well, he's a Republican, so he's kind of a coward. So
he is. Yes, there's that. And again, he's got a family too.
Yeah.
So he's got to be careful for that. Justice Department is pushing for Devin Archer to report to prison just days ahead of the former Hunter Biden business partner. Hotly anticipated congressional testimony, according to new court documents. Manhattan federal prosecutors on Saturday filed a letter requesting a judge set a date for Archer, 58, to start his 1-year sentence in a fraud case unrelated to the first son's various scandals. Yeah, he's not getting anything for this. It's not like he's getting time off for going and testifying.
Yeah.
But this should be big media stuff tomorrow. I don't want to say investigation, I guess, just committee meeting, because that's what it is. Him getting up in front of the committee and telling what he knows about Joe. And like I said, he's expected to finally say, for the record, that Joe Biden was up there giving phone calls when his son needed help. This guy, this Devin Archer guy, is the reason the Biden administration stopped saying that Biden never talked to his son about business, which Biden himself said on least a dozen occasions.
Oh, yeah.
Those exact words. I never spoke to my son about his business. And they've changed that to he was never in business with Hunter.
Yeah.
That's who this Devin Archer guy is. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bud.
It sounds like a semantics argument, but it's really not. It makes a big difference. They sound similar, but they're not. They're very, very different.
I never talked to him about his business. I never did business with him. Those are two entirely different things.
Yeah.
And because you can talk to him without being in business with him about the business.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the guy who made them change that line of bullshit. So nothing is going to happen. No, there's nothing that can happen. Because, it's not illegal for them to ask for the judge to send this guy to jail, even though right now he's out pending appeal.
Yeah. And it's disgusting what they're doing, because everybody knows what they're doing. This is an attempt to not only intimidate the witness, but also get him thrown in jail early, and basically try and negate his appeal. But it's just a heavy-handed look what we can do to you. This is Merrick Garland weaponizing the DOJ even further. And all of these fucking people are corrupt as shit. Never trust the feds.
I'm not the biggest fan of people who've been convicted being out pending appeal. If you're convicted, go to jail. You can appeal from there. There's nothing stopping you. But the fact that they waited until this Saturday to do this, right before he's testifying, I mean, you might as well have just said, we're going to intimidate this witness.
Oh, yeah. Well,
hey, go ahead.
But they're doing this because they're proving a point. Not only that they can do it, but that there'll be no consequences whatsoever. And if they can do it to these people, they will definitely do it to you. This is an intimidation tactic for all the American people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't go against the government because they will fuck you. The fact that they are being so bold about it, that's where the real, I won't say question, the real nonsense of it is. They're not even hiding it. They're just like, yeah, but Jack, but they have come out and said, no, that's not what we meant. A few hours ago, they released this. Dear Judge Abrams, the government writes to follow up on its July 29, 2023 letter appraising the court of the Second Circuit's mandate affirming the judgment of conviction in this matter. The government understands that the defendant is scheduled to move testimony to Congress, to provide testimony to Congress tomorrow. To be clear, the government does not request and has never requested that the defendant surrender before his congressional testimony.
Bullshit. That's what the message was, is we're coming for you. You testify. It was typical mob-style intimidation tactic.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't say we were going to break his place up. We just said it's a nice place you got here. It'd be a shame if anything happened to it.
As the court knows, to surrender and commence his sentence of imprisonment, the defendant must first be designated to a federal facility by the Bureau of Prisons, a process that can take several weeks or months after the court sets a surrender date. Nonetheless, for avoidance of all doubt, the government requests that any surrender date, should the court order one, be scheduled to occur after the defendant's congressional testimony is complete. We thank the court for its consideration. Well, here's an idea, and I'm just going to throw this out there. Don't make the request then until after he's given the testimony. Even then, that's going to look like retaliation.
Yeah.
But at least then it doesn't look like you're trying to keep them from testifying.
No, that would defeat the point of actually trying to intimidate him. Yeah, no, this was an intimidation tactic. Anybody that thinks otherwise is not paying attention. They don't want to see it.
Yeah, they could have done this at any time since his conviction, which I don't remember when he was convicted. When was he convicted? Devin Archer convicted. 2018. He was sentenced in 2022. And they're just now asking for them to send his ass to the Hooskow. You know, Jack, because it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence that it's 2 days before he's going to testify about Joe Biden and Hunter's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't understand why people are thinking that there would be something nefarious in that letter.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, it's just been 5 years. Come on.
There's no reason to pay any attention to this, man. The DOJ is completely nonpartisan. There is no 2 or 3 or 4 tier justice system.
No. They are above reproach. They have never done anything that betray the confidence of the civilians and citizens. Not locking them up without a trial date, not going after political opponents, not going after Catholics or teachers at school board meetings, or framing people for crimes that are nonsensical and then shooting their wives in the head while they're holding a baby. Nothing like that. The DOJ has a spotless record of pure integrity and honesty.
Now, it will be interesting to see if his expected testimony changes tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it absolutely could. And I wouldn't blame him. I would understand completely because the DOJ can get him killed in prison faster than you could say Epstein did kill himself.
Dude, if he were to change his testimony and then Congress was like, hey, he perjured himself, you'd have to prove which one was true. And anyway, it would have to go through the Justice Department.
Yeah, which they'd just be like, we're going to lock you up longer.
So, I mean, if he were to change his testimony and Comer's like, hey, this guy needs investigated for lying to Congress, and Garland's like, I don't see the big deal here. There's no real reason to prosecute for that. What happens?
Nothing.
Not saying that will happen, but I mean, it could. The reason this is important, guys, besides the DOJ's blatantly political bullshit here, is that the vice president of the United States was selling his office, basically.
Yeah.
That's what. He got his dad on the phone to talk to these guys. Yeah, so they do business with him. And this is stuff that we can track because there should be a record of who the vice president was on the phone with. There should be one. And this is true because they changed the wording of how they dismiss this stuff now. It's no longer he never talked to him about his business. It's he wasn't in business with him. Well, I mean, if he's not listed on one of the business entities, Jack, as a member of the business, him making a phone call doesn't make him part of the business. See, now we don't have to lie anymore. Now we can tell just a different lie. Pay no attention to the fact that Hunter Biden said in his emails that he had to give half of his money to his dad. Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that, are we? We're not supposed to talk about the fact that according to Hunter, there's a lot of stuff in the laptop where it's other people saying stuff to Hunter. This one came from Hunter. This was Hunter going, yeah, dad makes me give up half of my money to him. Why? They're not in business. Pirate says 10% for the big guy. Just in fairness, while Hunter does refer to the big guy, there's nothing in Hunter's written stuff that says 10% for the big guy. That comes from Bob Alinsky, if I remember correctly. But this was him saying that he gave half of all of his earnings to his dad. But they weren't in business together. His dad just required it for all of the times he had to bail him out of prison or keep him out of prison, and for all of the rehab stints, and for all the coke. Yeah. Joe Biden being on his phone with someone isn't the issue. Where was this for Trump's election? Well, yeah, I mean, with the whole Trump thing and the phone call there, the Ukrainian thing, we already know Joe did worse. We already know that he did quid pro quo. And the major media outlets and the Democrats and the DOJ, they all excuse it. Because why not? You still there, Jack?
Yeah, I had nothing to add.
Okay, you just got really quiet.
I'm calling McCarthy a coward right now on Twitter.
He is a coward, but
yeah.
If you're calling him a coward, I'm imagining it's over the impeachment shit.
No, it's he said anyone who tried to obstruct Congress oversight will be held accountable, because he said he's talking about the thing that we're talking about right now.
Well, Jack, even if Congress, like I said, this guy is being intimidated by the Justice Department, even if they could prove that was happening, who's going to investigate justice?
Nobody. Well, I mean, technically they could probably get the Capitol Police to do it, but no one. But they could impeach Garland for this shit, and they're not going to.
They could impeach Garland, but with an impeachment, it still has to go to an impeachment trial.
I know. I just kind of like calling Kevin McCarthy a coward.
He is a coward. He's an absolute coward.
Oh, absolutely. Just like the rest of the GOP.
He can stand up there and beat his chest all he wants to about they'll be held accountable because he knows damn well there's nothing they can do.
Yep.
So he gets to sound big and bad without doing a fucking thing.
Yep. I did remind him that Matt Gaetz never should have voted for him.
Mystic Forest, thank you so very much. And 10 to Jack, just saying hello. And it's been a while since I got to listen to you live since I've been out with surgery. Oh, I hope you're okay.
Oh, yeah, man. Thanks, Mystic. Hope you're doing okay.
I hope it went well and that you're healing well. All right, Jack. I don't even know where I want to go in this tonight because there's just so much weirdness. I guess let's start with this. Jack, there's been a call for liberals to stay off Twitter on August 1st. They're going to, I'm not making this up, hit Elon Musk in his pocketbook by tweeting for a day.
By what?
Not tweeting for one day.
Okay.
I saw this because somebody pointed it out to me when Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, guys, tweeted out that the only way this works is if everybody on the left does it. It doesn't work ever.
No, that's fucking dumb. If anything, you might save him money because the servers don't have to do anything then.
How is hitting a billionaire in their pocketbook gonna hurt them?
Isn't Elon like one of the top 3 richest people on the planet?
Yeah, at various times he's at the very top of that list, and sometimes depending on stocks he drops down. Yeah,
so I'm sure he's real worried about it.
Do you know how hard you have to hit a billionaire in their pocket? We're not talking about your boss at work who's living on a $100,000 salary and getting his ass in trouble by having people not shop at your store that day might actually do something. We're talking about a guy who does not care about money. Mm-hmm. He hasn't had to care about money for at least a decade.
Yeah. And I mean, these people are narcissists. They can't stop themselves. Ron Perlman, I saw earlier, he was back on Twitter again, bitching about it. He's threatened to leave like 5 times now that I can even think of, especially during Trump's election and before. And that dumbass can't stop himself because they are narcissists. They need the attention. So they're going to be like, I'm not going to tweet that day. And then they're going to tweet as soon as they can. They're dumb. They're liars. They can't stop.
Well, this came from Ms. Sergeant Pepper. I'm proposing that August 1st be a tweet out day where blue voters take the day off from tweeting. Think of the revenue loss for Twitter/X if we did that. Best way to affect change with a billionaire is to hit them in the wallet. Retweet if you are with me. Okay. And Marky Boy said, this will only be effective if everyone. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek my mic there, but he did all caps. So I'm trying to do him some justice. If everyone refrains from tweeting, Xing on August 1st, aka Tweetless Tuesday, let's show the owner the power of the people. Honestly, would it kill you to keep your thoughts to yourself for one damn day? Read a book.
Oh my God. Get over yourselves.
Fuck off, weirdo. I will tweet when I goddamn well please. And I might tweet more that day just to be an asshole. I'm just saying. I'll go through his old tweets and make fun of him.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Comment on all of them and say really mean stuff so he feels compelled to respond.
And then when he gets back, he can block me and I'll ask somebody to tell him, hey, relax, dude, read a book. Just saying. All right, this one's a little more personal. I got a content claim tonight. All of my other content claims have been taken care of, Jack. Even the one that was clearly bullshit because the guy tried claiming a video that wasn't his. This guy responded to the same video I responded to, and he claimed my video based on us both using the same video that we were responding to.
Yeah. How dare you respond to the same thing I am?
Yeah, it was the Tucker Carlson interviews that the Blaze did. And this guy tried to claim, I'm like, you're not from the Blaze. If the Blaze had claimed it, I mean, I probably would have just let it go and be like, fuck it, I don't care. But it wasn't. And then the one tonight comes from some group called Matter. And it's for a very old video. It's my reaction to Tom McDonald's Dummies.
Yeah, that's totally a real company, not some Nigerians trying to make a quick buck.
And so I asked YouTube about this. I was like, what are you guys doing to cut down on these sharks? And what they told me is, if you think it was an error, you should dispute it. I'm like, all right. Several of these have been an error. What are you doing? Because this is starting to happen again. This was happening a lot when I first got onto Twitter. It was happening so much. This is my favorite example. A guy got hit for music in a video that had none.
Yeah. You remember the guy that got hit for the black screen?
Yeah, yeah. There were tons of these examples back in 2016. And YouTube cleaned it up, and it's getting bad again. And like, dude, could y'all do something about this shit?
No.
These people who abuse the copyright system, they're not even supposed to be allowed to keep doing it. YouTube has never given us a number of how many people they can try screwing over before they get kicked off. Because the DMCA does allow for, if you are fraudulently doing this, for companies to go, fuck you, we're not entertaining you anymore.
Yeah.
Good luck. Hit us in court. We'll see what happens. And that's what they should be doing. And they never do.
That sounds like extra work.
And just once, just one goddamn time, I would like YouTube, when they answer me on Twitter, to pay attention to what I fucking said to them.
I'm pretty sure it's a bot that responds. They don't seem to actually
it's not.
care.
It's not a bot. It's somebody who just, they have a copy and paste that they do for whatever the issue is.
No matter how tenuous the relationship to what they're responding with.
Yeah. It's a human bot, basically. It's somebody like, in this case, they saw the tweet and they're like, okay, let's look up YouTube copyright rules. And then they pasted the little thing in to say how you can do a claim. Like, go fuck yourself. Just one goddamn time. Would you guys pay attention to what's said to you?
No.
And it's not just me, because I do follow these idiots and I see them respond to people all the time, completely off base from what the people said to them.
Yep.
Like,
I had a theory that they were getting non-English speakers to do this. That would make sense. They just recognize the symbols from certain words and cross-reference them. And they're, oh, yes, that looks good. But then I thought they were robots.
They might be, but they're not. This next one I'm just throwing in the chat for you guys to go watch. I'm not going to play it on the screen. It's outtakes from the chick who is doing the narration in the new Baldur's Gate 3. If you are a fan of fantasy, you will laugh your ass off at this. At one point, she says, "Who put 4 apostrophes in a word? What the fuck? Kind of fantasy bullshit is this?" And she's not wrong, man. I don't even try to pronounce fantasy names.
Nah, they're just trying to be silly now. Like,
yep.
You guys are trying way too hard. I need something exotic and unique, like my character. You mean that's gonna die in like 5 game sessions because you ran up to a giant thinking you could take it? Shut up. Stop trying to be special. Everybody's name is Bob now.
Everybody's Bob. except for the NPCs who are all named Steve, so I can pronounce them.
Yeah,
That's all. But it's a fun little 2 minutes out of your day, especially if you enjoy any kind of fantasy games. I laugh so hard listening to that shit. All right. We're not going to watch this video, but I am going to put it up on the screen. I guess we should watch the video. We should watch the video for
yourself into it live.
What's that?
I like how you talk yourself into it live.
Well, I could just paraphrase it, but when I have the ability to actually let it go, sometimes it's like, yeah, let's just do it. It's only 25 seconds. Candace Owens was talking to Andrew Tate because he's on the I didn't rape anybody tour right now. And
first and foremost,
hang on. She talks really fast and loud. So here we go.
First and foremost, one thing I want to clarify for people that are watching this is that there seems to be this understanding that you are being prosecuted, or you're being indicted rather, for human trafficking charges. I've read the indictment, and I do want to make it clear. The words human sex trafficking occur on the indictment, but then it makes it very clear that what they're referring to is they've kind of extended the term. It's not what we think about in America when you think of a bunch of children being put into a truck and taken over the border against their will.
Okay. So what she's explaining there is that this idiot's not being, that he didn't grab kids. Nobody said that. And it's fair to point that out. It really is. This is more along the lines of what that idiot Eliza Blue claims is sex trafficking, which is pimping women. Except for in this case, he's being charged with pimping women that he got from abroad and would not let leave.
Yeah.
So it's still human trafficking. It's still taking women for sex against their will. So not exactly the Eliza Blue situation where she was perfectly fine humping people. But this Syrian girl chick, she says, never thought I'd watch a so-called conservative arguing in nuance human trafficking. There's nothing wrong with clarifying it. It doesn't make it any better. It doesn't. It's not like this makes him a good guy because he's not stealing kids.
Yeah, it's just she was clarifying what type of human trafficking this is. It's not what people typically think of when you hear the phrase human trafficking.
Especially when you just had, what was that movie? The human trafficking movie?
Oh, Song of Freedom.
Yeah, where it's all about actual kids getting trafficked. That's what typically gets paid attention to. In this case, it's almost a form of kidnapping without being kidnapping because of the way the laws are written in Romania.
Yeah. I mean, we would probably charge them with kidnapping, pimping, prostitution, forced prostitution, human trafficking. There'd be like a litany of things.
Sure.
They just kind of lump it all into one category.
So it's not that she's arguing for nuance in sex trafficking. She's just arguing for what's really going on. Don't make me stand up for Andrew Tate. Just saying. Or Candace Owen, for fuck's sake. God damn. Why do people make me stand up for people I don't like?
Something to do.
I guess. All right. For the third show in a row, we have Nancy Mace. We don't have video this time. Unfortunately, no video. I know. She's a fan favorite because she's kind of a hottie. And that's fine.
Not even my type. I just want to fuck her. I don't know.
I understand. It's because she's cute. That's all.
Yeah.
And there's certain kinds of cute that it's just, the wiener responds. Oh, God damn it. I just turned that ad off. Representative Nancy Mace said Sunday that discussions of impeaching President Biden puts Republican majority in the House at risk in 2024 by jeopardizing members who represent districts that President Biden won in 2020. That's all I'm going to read about the article. I'll throw this in the chat if you guys want to read it yourselves. But I have a problem with that, Jack. I have a problem because what she just said there is impeachment is going to be used as a political tool. And while we know
it's like they did with Trump,
we know it's been used that way. That's not how it should be used. And especially when what you're worried about is we might lose voters if we do the right thing. If you genuinely believe that it's the right thing to do, you should do it.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you shouldn't do it. And it shouldn't be based on whether or not Joe Biden might pick up a House seat. It should be based on whether or not it's the right fucking thing to do. See, this is what I tell you guys all the time. The reason you have these rhinos in the House and the Senate, it's not because they don't necessarily believe in actual conservative values. It's because once they get in office, all they care about is staying in office, and they are afraid of the media. That's it. They are afraid of going against the media because they might lose their precious House seat or their precious Senate seat. That's it. It's the only fucking thing they care about. They might genuinely believe that we should close the border, that we should defund the FBI, whatever it is, whatever conservative values conservative at the time, they might genuinely believe it. But if it's going to cost them their seat, that suddenly they get very nuanced, Jack.
Yeah. Oh, well, we should talk about this first.
Yeah, we need to have an investigation, maybe a couple of hearings.
A committee, a good old-fashioned committee. Take a year to do.
Oh, no, Jack, even better. A couple of subcommittees of the committee.
Oh, maybe a blue ribbon?
Yes, a blue ribbon panel would be exactly what's needed.
Yes, we should have all of them.
I fucking hate this shit.
They all sell out once they get in office.
Impeachment was purposefully made political so that if you were abusing it, you would be punished for it. That the people would go, what the fuck did you just do? And we saw with Trump that that didn't exactly work out.
No, it turned into a circus pretty fast. But at least with Biden, there's some actual evidence that he did some corrupt shit.
Yeah. And if you're gonna be for, and even if you're just talking about the investigation, investigating him with the possibility of impeachment, then say that.
Yeah.
Don't fucking hide behind, oh, we might lose votes. Because that's what makes you such a fucking horrible legislator. That's why you're a rhino. It's not because you're Republican in name only. It's because all that matters to you is that goddamn congressional seat. And it turns you into a bunch of fucking hypocrites constantly.
Yep.
We didn't get to see a picture of Nancy there, so I just feel that we should, right? This one's not as good a picture, Jack. This one might actually make your wiener shrivel just a little. It's not a horrible picture, but she's in a leather dress or a pleather dress.
She looks kind of fat there.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Because she got a little bit of a poof right there.
Yeah, you got to work on that muffin top, honey.
She just needs to wear a sundress instead.
I guess.
That'll hide it, and then you won't see it because you have the lights out. She'll be like, I don't do it with the lights on. I'm just saying.
Fair enough, I guess.
And then you reach around thinking it's a boobie, but it's actually her navel. And you're like, what the hell just happened? Anyway.
She has an inverted nipple.
I've seen those. Those are weird looking.
Yeah.
And if you have one, it doesn't make you a bad person. But oh my God. They do not look, what's the word I'm looking for here? Tasty.
That's one way to put it, I guess.
All right, Jack. This next one, I probably should have put this in the title because this would have got us a lot more views. Lemino spends months researching, scripting, and editing a video just for React streamers to re-upload the entire thing and provide zero input. This is a video about the Kennedy assassination. And XQC. Do you know who he is?
No idea, but he looks like a piece of shit.
He's one of the biggest streamers out there right now.
Oh.
Mudahar tweeted out, just a shame garbage like this fills the recommended tab. And XQC, he decides to get in there. He said, I wonder what triggers people like you so much. Revenue share, audience split, algorithm. I've heard this complaint a million times, and most public figures try to attack it from multiple angles just to fall flat on their face. I'm watching a vid I like to my people. I'm watching a vid I'd like to my people.
Yeah. The sentence makes no sense. That really offended me.
I know what he's saying.
Yeah.
But that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I'm showing a vid I like to my people.
No, because he's watching it to them. They're tuning in for him watching.
Uh-huh. That's not weird at all.
And then he says, that's it. All right, let me help you out here, home. I went and looked this up, Jack, because I didn't want to speak out of my ass. You know I like my reaction channels.
Oh, yeah.
But I like actual reactions.
Yeah, but he's not doing that.
No. There was one span of like 20 minutes where he didn't say a fucking thing.
Yeah, because he's just watching a video. I mean, it's weird. He's one of those people that goes, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. And they just make faces. It's fucking boring. That's not a reaction video.
Wait, let me help you out here. He doesn't even do that much.
Yeah, but
he just sits there.
That's what I think of when I hear reaction videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's what most of them do. And him and Hassan do even less. It's impressive.
Yes. I assume Hassan. No, this isn't Hassan, but it's very much like him. These people, look, Jack, we watch videos that other people made all the time.
Yeah, but we're commenting on them.
We are. A 10-minute video, we're lucky if it only goes half an hour with all the commentary we throw in.
Oh, as much as you stop it, yeah.
I think my record is like almost 2 hours on was it a 30-minute video, guys?
I think it was less than that.
Yeah, less than that. If you're actually giving commentary, if you're actually adding to it, that's fine. That is what fair use is. And these guys are making a fucking mockery of the fair use system.
Oh, absolutely. Because what they're doing isn't fair use at all.
I 100% support both fair use and copyright. And unfortunately, I don't know if this guy who watched it is offended or not, but the people who do have their content, and hear this word, stolen, don't have the resources to sue these fuckers for it. And they fucking know it. It is a fucking disgrace what's happening there. And it's happening fucking everywhere.
Yeah. And the worst part is maybe these people don't know it, but they've never had a consequence, so they don't care.
Oh, they absolutely know it. They've been told enough.
Yeah, but they don't care what
they don't care. That's the issue. I'm getting paid. What the fuck do I care?
Yeah, I have to do less work thanks to that guy for doing months of research so I can steal his shit.
I fucking wish I had less morals, man. I really do. I wish mom didn't give me a sense of right and wrong, because fuck, I could make so much more money.
I know, right?
Just be like, hey guys, tonight we're watching this. I'm going to sit here and occasionally go, huh. That'll be it. XQC is the most beta guy on Twitch. He went viral for a bit for saying if someone broke into his house, he wouldn't go out to defend his woman. He's gone viral a few times for being a complete fucking douchebag. So, anyhow, I just had to get that off my chest. If you're doing transformative content, I am on your side. If you're a fucking thief like this, you can go fuck yourself. I hope bad things happen to you. I hope that in about a year, somehow you get extremely poor and nobody cares about you anymore, and you have to live like one of the peons that you steal from. I sincerely wish that for you.
And a Lego in the pee hole.
And a Lego in the pee hole on top of it. All right. Oh man, Vivek. Jack, I want to like Vivek so bad. I want to like him. And I keep saying that. And if you're wondering why I keep saying I want to like him, it's because I just don't trust people enough to like him. He said something today that pissed off some people.
Was it the UFO thing?
What's that?
Was it the UFO thing?
No.
Oh.
This one
made me like him more.
Well, this one will make you like him more too, I'm pretty sure. I'm an American nationalist. This country isn't an economic zone, but it's not defined by ethnicity either. We're not bound by blood in our veins. We're bound by the ideas that our founders spilled blood to preserve. They wrote them out and fought a revolution, a civil war, and 2 world wars to save them. I refuse to let the woke left or their intellectual cousins on the right browbeat us into thinking otherwise. I'm rooted deep in this country, and I'll stand my ground to the end if I have to. This is a good debate to have in the GOP. Let's smoke it out.
Yeah, that's perfectly good. I like what he said there, but you're going to find a way to shit on my parade, aren't you?
Wait. This is somebody responding to something very similar that he had said. Here's the rest. This is what he says. Being American isn't about whether you can trace your ancestry on this land. It's about whether you're committed to our nation and its core ideals. The problem I see is too many people who can trace their ancestry don't actually give a damn about the nation. This guy is wrong. I don't know who he was responding to there, but yeah, 100%. I don't give a fuck. If you just got off the boat yesterday, and legally, of course, and you are gung-ho American, I'm with you. And I mean, American. You actually believe in free speech and Constitution and limited government and free enterprise. I'm with you. Come on. I'll trade you for one of these fucking commies who was born here any day of the week.
Bit of shit.
But this guy says, below you see the limit of high IQ candidates who don't actually feel rooted in this place. No matter how many smart things a guy says, when he basically views the land as an economic playground, that's disqualifying.
Why?
He didn't say shit about an economic playground.
The stolen economic playground?
The nation and its core ideals. I hate these fucking people, man. Now, I did learn some things about Vivek I didn't know.
Oh, yeah?
And I am willing to learn. Apparently back in May, Jack, this is reported, and I don't know if he's ever responded to it, but he paid somebody to alter his Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Only certain people can edit Wikipedia, but it is allowed for you to pay one of their editors to edit your page.
Yeah. The take out the George Soros thing.
Well, it wasn't even George Soros. It was George Soros's brother.
Yeah.
He got a grant from back in 2011.
I've heard that, and as far as I know, it's a rumor.
I don't care if it is or not. It was 2011.
Yeah.
If you got a grant,
I mean, it's free money.
It doesn't mean that he's on the Soros team today.
Yeah. Now, you got a grant. It's not like he was on the payroll.
You show me something that shows he's still Sorosian, and I'm willing to listen. But the other thing that was edited is that he was part of, is it Illinois where he's from? Part of their, or is it Ohio? I fucking forget.
Is that from here?
Part of their COVID 2020 response team.
Okay. A lot of people were.
No, that's it.
Oh, he was just part of the team?
Mm-hmm.
So what?
I don't know.
Was he like not the voice of reason on there? Was he like, no, let's lock up some people?
I honestly don't know because it doesn't say any more than that.
Well, that doesn't mean fuck all unless he did something egregious.
Look, he has come out and said he I forget which interview it was. He was asked about this. He answered honestly that he used to believe in the lockdowns and stuff when it first blew up because that's what everybody was saying.
Yeah.
And that he's changed his mind since because obviously that was nonsense.
Well, all the medical experts were saying the lockdowns would work. So, yeah, it's easy to see where people believe that.
You know who else was on board with lockdowns? Trump and DeSantis. Both of them.
Hate facts. Yeah, because information changes over time.
For those of you who don't believe me about Trump, remember Trump was hoping that we could reopen by Easter that year. He didn't have a problem with the lockdowns as they were, as long as he wanted to be able to reopen. We should have never closed down in the first place. But
everybody was listening to the experts who all
were full of shit.
Have political agendas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of whom may be involved in creating this mess.
There's, as far as I know, very few people in this race who are how do I want to say this, clean when it comes to the COVID stuff.
Yeah, but the only people they're going to point to are Trump and Biden. They're not going to take any responsibility for their own.
Exactly, Frosted. 2 weeks to slow the spread. 2 weeks to flatten the curve is actually what they said.
Yeah, it turned out to be 2 years.
2 years to flatten the curve. I guess what they meant there was the economic mobility of Americans.
Yeah, well, you got to do what your Chinese overlords are paying you to do. Right?
Now, the other thing people are pointing to, Jack, is that Vivek was in a Spaces with Elon Musk day before yesterday.
Okay.
I think. And in this space, he said that he thinks we should rejoin the TPP. That's a
terrible idea.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Yeah.
He said he thinks it was a mistake for Trump to leave it and that we should get back in it. He does say this. He does say that we should renegotiate the terms.
Yeah, because it was Asian NAFTA.
Yeah, I don't think we should be in TPP at all.
No, it was a terrible deal.
Yep. And I don't care what deal it is. How about we just deal with everybody individually? It's not that hard.
That's really not.
We have trade agreements in place with most of these people already. It's why we trade with them, Jack.
Yeah.
So I disagree with him on the TPP thing. Is it a deal breaker for me? I don't know. I don't know if that would be a deal breaker for me or not, but compared to everything else he said, I'm not that concerned about the TPP right now. I think it's an incredibly bad idea. These free trade partnerships don't work out for the richest countries involved.
They only work out for the poor ones.
Yeah. It is a movement of money.
Yeah, it's redistributionism.
Yeah, and maybe you can point to that and go, there's your Soros connection.
Doubt it. I mean, that's a lot harder to.
I think it's a bunch of commie nonsense. But
yeah.
It's redistribution. That's what it is.
It is, but a lot of people that don't know economics would think it's a good sounding idea. They don't look at how it's actually going to play out.
But it is weird to me how much hate I've seen thrown at Vivek over the last 48 hours.
Because the speech was really good in Iowa.
Because his speech blew everyone's away.
Yeah.
Everyone. So, is what it is. But I am still looking. I'm not sold on him yet. But I do like a lot of what he's been saying. I don't really care about that. I kind of want to watch this, Jack.
It's up to you. It's your show.
Well, the reason I say kind of want to watch it is because it's not important to anything we've been talking about. It is an old video of Antonin Scalia, who, God rest his soul, if you believe in a God. He's up here talking about what makes America special. Oh,
I thought you were going to say it's footage from when he died and the Hillary Clinton assassin putting the pillow over his face. And he's going, I was like, how'd you get that? But I guess I read that wrong.
No. This is different. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do my best not to talk too much during this. And I know I say that all the time, but I mean it. But as an American, or even if you're not American, listen up.
What do you think is the reason that America is such a free country? What is it in our Constitution that makes us what we are?
Jack, how would you answer that question?
I don't know. That's a complicated question.
Chat, give me your best answers. What is it that makes us so free? And I know a lot of you have answers on this. And I'll be honest with you, he's right here, and it did change my mind a little, because I would have always said free speech, Jack.
I would have gone with guns.
But... Sure. And that's a fair answer. But I will say this. I think what he says is right, and I might surprise you.
And I guarantee you that the response I will get, and you will get this from almost any American, including the woman that he was talking to at the supermarket, the answer would be freedom of speech, freedom of the press, no unreasonable searches and seizures, no quartering of troops in hope, those marvelous provisions of the Bill of Rights. But then I tell them, if you think that a Bill of Rights is what sets us apart, you're crazy. Every banana republic in the world has a Bill of Rights. Every president for life has a Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights of the former evil empire, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, was much better than ours. I mean it literally.
Make you think a little bit? I got to be honest, when I got to this part, I'm like, all right, I need to see where he's going, because if it's not our Bill of Rights, which protect our freedoms, the Constitution itself doesn't really protect any of our freedoms. It just tells us how the government is set up. So what is it? This is why this smart guy was on the Supreme Court, Jack, and I have a show with a monkey avatar.
Maybe. You know who didn't have a Bill of Rights? The Confederacy.
Did they not?
Nope.
Huh.
There's no Bill of Rights in there.
It was much better. We guarantee freedom of speech and of the press. Big deal. They guaranteed freedom of the speech, of the press, of street demonstrations and protests, and anyone who is caught trying to suppress criticism of the government will be called to account. Whoa, that is wonderful stuff. Of course, just words on paper. What our framers would have called a parchment guarantee. And the reason is...
And if you think about that, I mean, it's true. Think of them just ending affirmative action the other day, Jack, a month ago now?
Mm-hmm.
The 14th Amendment says that that affirmative action shouldn't exist. Period. Yeah. The 14th Amendment solidifies all men are created equal. But it was okay for them to legally treat men and women differently. So, damn, he's a smart guy. Was a smart guy.
Yeah.
That the real constitution of the Soviet Union, you think of the word constitution, it doesn't mean a bill, it means structure. Say a person has a sound constitution, has a sound structure. The real constitution of the Soviet Union, which is what our framers debated that whole summer in Philadelphia in 1787. They didn't talk about the Bill of Rights. That was an afterthought, wasn't it?
Yeah. True story.
That constitution of the Soviet Union did not prevent the centralization of power in one person or in one party. And when that happens, The game is over. The Bill of Rights is just what our framers would call a parchment guarantee. So the real key to the distinctiveness of America is the structure of our government. One part of it, of course, is the independence of the judiciary. But there's a lot more. There are very few countries in the world, for example, that have a bicameral legislature.
Now, this part, some of you might get a little offended, just depending on where you live, because he might be taking a shot at your country here in just a second.
Oh, England has a House of Lords for the time being, but the House of Lords has no substantial power. They can just make the Commons pass a bill a second time. France has a Senate, it's honorific. Italy has a Senate, it's honorific. Very few countries have two separate bodies in the legislature equally powerful. That's a lot of trouble, as you gentlemen doubtless know, to get the same language through two different bodies elected in a different fashion. Very few countries in the world have a separately elected chief executive. Sometimes I go to Europe to talk about separation of powers. And when I get there, I find that all I'm talking about is independence of the judiciary, because the Europeans don't even try to divide the two political powers, the two political branches, the legislature and the chief executive. In all of the parliamentary countries, the chief executive is the creature of the legislature. There's never any disagreement between them and the prime minister, as there is sometimes between you and the president.
Because the prime minister is picked by the presiding party. The way that a prime minister is picked is whichever group is the biggest and can get the biggest coalition together, they pick who gets to be their prime minister. Where even in America, where, we've had a couple of times recently, Jack, where the president, the Senate, and the House are all the same party, they're not elected the same way, and there's bad blood between some of those guys.
Yeah.
The House and the Senate have nothing to do with how the president is picked.
Yay.
I agree.
It's a disagreement. They just kick him out. They have a no confidence vote, a new election, and they get a prime minister who agrees with the legislature.
Yep.
And, the Europeans look at the system and they say, well, it passes one house, it doesn't pass the other house. Sometimes the other house is in the control of a different party. It passes both. And then this president who has a veto power vetoes it. And they look at this and they say, it is gridlock.
And I just say, I love his accent there.
Yeah.
It is gridlock. Am I wrong? That sounded a little Russian.
A little bit. Yeah.
I hear Americans saying this nowadays, and there's a lot of it going around. They talk about a dysfunctional government because there's disagreement, and the framers would have said yes. That's 100%. Exactly the way we set it up. We wanted this to be power contradicting power,
adversarial,
because the main ill that beset us, as Hamilton said in the Federalist, when he talked about a separate Senate, he said, yes, it seems inconvenient, but inasmuch as the main ill that besets us is an excess of legislation, it won't be so bad. This is 1787. He didn't know what an excess of legislation was. So
that's funny if you understand how much legislation goes through now compared to back then.
Unless Americans can appreciate that and learn to love the separation of powers, which means learning to love the gridlock, which the framers believed would be the main protection of minorities, the main protection. If a bill is about to pass that really comes down hard on some minority, they think it's terribly unfair. It doesn't take much to throw a monkey wrench into this complex system. So Americans should appreciate that, and they should learn to love the gridlock.
Amen. I've told you guys this before. We have an adversarial system for a fucking reason. And it's a wonderful thing. I love the Bill of Rights, Jack. 100%.
Yeah, pretty fun.
But I mean, how how safe is our Bill of Rights when right now you have these fucking assholes talking about how we got to get more Supreme Court justices in there because they don't like the way that the court has been ruling lately.
Oh yeah.
Can I put that link in chat? Absolutely, Ebony. Give me just a second here.
Who was it? McLaren on PBS used to say gridlock, like he was pooping the word.
I'm not sure, but
it's from somebody from the 80s and probably early 90s. But he used to say that all the time. He would say the word, like the regular words, like yeah, Congress has stalled in another gridlock. It became a joke for a long time, but yeah, classic stuff.
I love gridlock, and I've mentioned it many times. I like when the government isn't doing anything. Let them have their stupid fucking hearings where they're bringing somebody up where they're not going to do anything about it, as long as they're not passing new fucking laws. Because every time they get to where, oh, we got to pass law, we get screwed. The less they do legislatively, the better we are. And Jack, I don't think it's going to be too long before our legislature actually starts to try to pass hate speech rules.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which would be a blatant violation of the First Amendment.
Only if anybody ever actually challenges it and gets it through court. Yeah.
And that's what he means by, it's nice. It's nice on paper. But if you have a group of shitheads in there who don't care about it, how safe is it? Yeah. Look at what you said guns. Look at all the fucking gun laws these assholes pass.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Blatant violations of the Second Amendment.
Yeah, they don't care.
And often with them going, oh, you think people should be allowed to own cannons? Well, they could back when they passed that fucking bill.
Yeah. Cannons are pretty awesome. I'd buy one if I had enough money.
So I just thought that's important to watch because Scalia's spot on right there. Again, may whatever gods exist, rest his soul. Anyhow, Jack, moving right along.
What?
I don't know if I even want to talk about this again. So the other day we watched Will Hurd end his speech at the Lincoln's Day dinner, the Lincoln Dinner Day, whatever the fuck it's called, by telling us that the only reason Donald Trump was running for president is because he's trying to stay out of jail. Forget the fact that if he wasn't running for president, there'd be no indictments. Well, he's not done saying stupid shit, Jack, because he weighed in on the Florida Stop Woke Act and all of the slavery led to, slaves having skills. He said real leadership would have stepped up and said, hey, there's no upside to slavery. Slavery was not a jobs program. Nobody should imply that's what we did. Who is this fucking retard? Nobody has suggested that slavery was a jobs program or that it should be used as a jobs program or that slavery was in any way good.
Maybe that's something the pro-slavery movement in the South could have looked into, is how can we make this into a jobs program? Like AmeriCorps, where they didn't used to pay people.
How in the ever-loving hell do you think... Go ahead.
Those aren't slaves. Those are interns.
Right. There you go. What do these people think slaves did all day? I really want to talk to somebody who has this nonsense idea and ask them. I asked him, and there was no answer. But what do you think slaves did all day?
I don't know.
Or do you just think black people are so goddamn dumb that after they seeded a field for the season, Jack, that immediately they forgot it?
Yeah, they just sort of wandered off because they don't know how farming works, especially back in the day where you had to do everything by hand or with like an ox. So yeah, they're just like you throw seeds out and then you just let them grow, right? You don't have to pull weeds or water or anything. You just kind of meander on home for 4 or 5 months.
Rebel says Will Hurd is a CIA plant. Literally, former CIA decided he would try to upset this election. Somebody told us the other day that he's former CIA. I'll have to look further into this idiot. But I'm so tired of this goddamn conversation. You have to be a moron, an actual moron, to not understand what was being said there. We're not going to read this one. It just made me laugh. A number of people are attempting to change their race by watching certain videos, hoping to manifest physical change. They have convinced themselves it works because there are other people who have convinced themselves as well, says a media professor. I'll throw that into chat if any of you guys want to read. This is from NBC News, Jack. There's people claiming they can change their race now. Apparently just by watching videos.
Well, I mean, staying inside, you do lose a lot of that vitamin D that your melanin might need. I don't know.
How many Wayans Brothers movies you got to watch to turn black?
Just white chicks.
White. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. I just love the idea that you could change your color by watching a video.
Maybe depends on what kind of shoe polish you're using, as Frank would say.
Like, could you become a different thing? Like, say you wanted to become Asian, just watch a bunch of Bruce Lee movies?
Maybe. I don't know how this works. I'm not quite up on my woke agenda manual. It seems to be updated pretty regular. So, I mean, if they're going to allow you to transition everything else, why wouldn't they let you do that?
I just think it's funny as shit that there's people who are like, no, you can't. Like, but I can cut off my wiener and suddenly I'm a chick. All right. Never mind. I just want to show this one. You know Kate Beckinsale is, right?
Oh, yes. I know who Kate Beckinsale is.
Kate Beckinsale turned 50.
She looks good for 50.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. It's true. Before I watched Lords of the Night, I was black. This is how she dressed for her 50th birthday, and I just wanted to highlight it because I like older women, Jack. You know that. Indeed. And I just, all right, I'm just doing it because I love Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah. She still looks good. And good on her for dressing like a naughty, naughty girl.
Pyrus says, I'd tap that. If you wouldn't, you're gay. I'm just saying. Or a woman.
Well, no, I think some women definitely go down on Kate Beckinsale.
Sure. And in that case, they would be gay.
Yeah, because she's not to do it. But I mean, take a good look at her and then look at Madonna. There's not that big of an age difference there. There's like 15 years? Madonna's like
something
65.
Like that, yeah.
Madonna looks like the Walking Dead, like the Crypt Keeper. And Kate Beckinsale still looks pretty hot. So don't get plastic surgery is the real lesson here.
It is amazing how much better women look without the plastic surgery.
Yes. At least you look natural and not like you just walked out of a horror film.
And there's no way she's obviously got makeup on there.
Oh, yeah.
Probably quite a bit because she's 50.
She's 50. But she still looks good for 50, regardless.
There's no way with that nasty fucking plastic surgery where they pull it Joker tight and it looks like you had Smilex.
Yeah.
To put on makeup to make it look natural. It just makes you look like you've been to the morgue.
Yeah, if anything, the makeup highlights the plastic surgery more, especially with a facelift where the cheekbones are taut.
Yes.
It just makes you look like you fell into a clown factory.
You know, I just want to bring that up one more time. I think it's important.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's when it comes to, look, guys, there's certain things that we feel are important on the show and we want to highlight them. And this is one of those cases, not because she's hot and we both have, chubs for her.
No, that would be wrong morally.
Yes, that would be sexist as hell.
Indeed. And we don't judge women like that around here.
Never, ever, ever. I
But I
just
would like
think,
to beat whoever left that dog there.
shit. I just think that this shows that you need to stay healthy. That's all I was going for.
Yeah, exercise, clean living, and control your animals, people. Seriously, dog ruined a perfectly good photo.
And then not to mention now her cooch probably smells like dog, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, what that dog might have farted on Kate Beckinsale, and that's unacceptable. She was an underworld, damn it.
And right in the vagina.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
not
want
right.
no dog farting on my woman's cooter.
Yeah, you got to burn it at that point. Are we really talking about dogs farting on cooters?
It might be, yeah. I think it was her birthday, Okie, and they just put a hat on the dog.
Yeah, it's her birthday.
Yeah. No, she's always been very attractive and good for her. And if you want to see her boobies, you can see the movie Haunted with Aidan Quinn, and it's when she was in her prime and her like 25.
Next up, because of Cardi B.
Oh God.
Cardi B gets mad at a fan at a concert the other day or yesterday. I don't fucking know when. And she throws the microphone at the fan. Oddly enough, she keeps singing and her voice is just as loud.
Yeah, it's almost like it's recorded or something.
So Milli Vanilli was going around, and I saw many people talking about it.
Cardi Vanilli.
I don't care about Milli Vanilli, but I saw this, which kind of annoyed me. So we'll bring it up on the screen here.
Manili B.
I know what it's like to live in a small town, and this guy says, "No, you don't." He goes, "No, I don't." I don't know where Jason Aldean grew up.
Yeah, suburb outside of Georgia or outside of Atlanta.
This guy says Jason Aldean is fake, a fraud. He didn't grow up in a small town. He's a well-off little suburban brat, and he writes very little of his own music. He's the Milli Vanilli of country music with no authenticity.
First of all, almost everybody that makes music has somebody else write it, and that doesn't make him Milli Vanilli. He's still singing his own work. That's not even a good comparison.
It's fucking retarded is what it is. The only time I ever see this argument about people not writing their own music come up is when somebody hates an artist.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit when their own favorite singers don't write their own music.
Which is most of them. I would say 90%.
Yeah.
Probably more. Don't write their own music. Especially after the first album. They might write the part of the first album, but after that, the corporations are like, hey, here's a team that's going to write all your hits.
And even then, with like a first album, oftentimes the reason you get somebody else is just to fill out the album.
Yeah.
To have more songs on it, so you're not selling an album with three songs on it. But I mean, I was thinking about that. If you use this standard that you're Milli Vanilli, that makes Elvis Milli Vanilli. In the Ghetto was not written by him.
No.
Hound Dog wasn't written. Blue Suede Shoes was not written by him.
Yeah, most of those were covers, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they were mostly blues songs that he appropriated. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, as long as you were paying whoever wrote the song, and I don't know if he did or not, but
by this logic, though, even doing auto-tune would make you Milli Vanilli, which is most of the artists these days.
It's so annoying how many people are like hating on this guy because he wrote a song about not being a douchebag.
Yeah, because they're a bunch of pro-Antifa dum-dums.
Yeah. 90% don't play the instruments on the record either. Yeah, I mean, Taylor Swift is running around on her Eras tour where she's singing random songs from different parts of her long and storied career.
Yeah. Yeah, a buddy of mine went and saw her.
She doesn't play a fucking instrument. She just gets up there and sings what mostly. Look, I know she wrote some of them because she has to write about her bad breakups and stuff, but most of that shit isn't her. She can. It doesn't mean she can't sing, Jack.
No, she's a pretty good performer, but
Yeah.
I don't dislike Taylor Swift. I just think that men should learn their lesson. But
Right.
no, a buddy of mine went and saw her. She occasionally plays guitar on one or two of her songs or something.
All right.
But
don't even get me started on that. Look, she's trying, and I'll give her credit. She's trying.
A- for effort, but she's got tiny girl brains.
She strums an acoustic.
That's not the word I thought you were going to say. I just heard "coo" and then I just filled in the blank on my own.
No. Yeah, exactly. Everyone can't be Prince or MJ. MJ didn't write most of his music.
Yeah. Prince was a real talent. I mean, not my favorite musician by any stretch of the imagination, but I can recognize talent. He was an incredibly talented man.
Prince wrote most people's music in the 80s. It's amazing.
It was like him and Richard Marx wrote the 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wait. And Alan Thicke, if you're talking about TV theme songs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll give you that one. But yeah, it's one of those things where this type of hypercriticalness applies to all your favorite musicians too. Yeah. So it's stupid.
Toto wrote all the MJ stuff. Is that true? I just know he didn't write most of his. Prince, on the other hand, look at the credits on Graffiti Bridge. Not only did he write it, he played most of the instruments.
Yeah.
That's fucking talent. Such a damn shame, man. What is it with these fucking assholes and pills? I'm rich and famous. I gotta get away from it all. Fuck.
Hang on, you're talking about pills. We got to ward off the devil.
Oh, do it. Thank you. Too bad Prince couldn't perform songs. What the hell are you talking about? Go sit in the corner, Frosted.
He lives in the corner. What are you talking about? It's like sending a little kid to his room. That's where all his cool stuff is.
I haven't sent him there in a while, but that one deserved it. All right. Oh, man. We got more land buying, huh? Mystery group buying land near Air Force Base sues farmers, according to a rep. Flannery Association. Are they Irish?
No.
Scottish?
You should read the article.
All right, we'll just scroll down. While questions remain about a mystery group company buying 52,000 acres of land near an Air Force base, Congressman says farmers in the area are being targeted in a lawsuit from the group. Representative John Garamendi, Democrat of California, has been speaking out over the past 5 years about the $80 million in land acquisitions by Flannery Associates near Tavis Air Force Base. Garamendi says that the purchases just don't add up. How much is that an acre? $8 million for 52,000 acres.
I have no idea.
Well, that's not helping me.
I didn't say I was going to help you.
Anybody got a calculator?
I don't do math.
8 million divided by 52,000. In an interview with News Nation, Garamendi said he's been in contact with the families of farmers who handed over their land to Flannery, saying they didn't want to sell in the first place. Since no California law requires them to sell, the land was bargained for by both parties at a much higher price. But now Flannery is suing those families for $510 million, accusing them of conspiring together to inflate the value of the land. All right. I'm so confused right now.
Why?
The farmers didn't want to sell, and there's no law that requires them to sell. The land. Why was the land being bargained for?
This sounds like some sort of bullying tactic. Like maybe some people came in and were like, "You need to sell," And they're like, "Oh, I get what you're saying."
But according to this, I mean, they got it at a much inflated price.
Yeah,
about
they
150. That can't be right.
What I'm guessing is that some of the people that were the last holdouts were pulling what people do when Disney goes to buy land. And they're just like, no, you got to give me a lot more money than what you're offering.
That's a second person who confirms 153 per acre. $153 for an acre of land? Of farmland? Fuck no. And these assholes are suing, saying that they got gouged by the families.
Right? That makes no sense to me.
Fuck you. There's no fucking way. You guys did do 800 million, right? I'm just asking. Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, I'd take an acre for 150.
Oh shit, I would buy all the acres for $153.
Yeah, that's a good price, especially for farmland.
An acre of land around here right now is going for like $3,000, and it's not a very expensive place. It's a suit designed to force the farmers to lawyer up, spend tens of thousands of dollars on lawyering, and maybe at the end of the day bankrupt themselves, Garamendi said. In fact, that has happened to at least one family that I know of, and I've heard rumors that another family simply said they couldn't afford the lawyers. I'm just wondering how the fuck did they get away with $153 an acre?
I'm telling you, some people went in and said, you need to sell or bad things could happen. Or they probably said it with a slightly different accent though. You sell now.
News Nation reviewed a copy of the lawsuit. Attorneys for Flannery say they believed this is simply a case about a group of wealthy landowners who saw an opportunity to conspire, collude, price fix, and illegally overcharging you at $153. That can't be. No. Monkey meant 800 million. What did I say? 8 million?
No, you said 800 million.
Okay. 800 million. Yeah, okay. I'm going to just have to bring up the calculator myself.
How many acres were there? 50,000?
52,000.
I'm doing the math right now.
Me too.
Yeah, I got $1,538.46 an acre.
Oh, yeah, I did it wrong too. I did 8 million.
Yeah, it's 1,538 an acre. That's a lot different.
That still doesn't sound out. Oh, I get 15,000.
I think you put in too many zeros.
All right, let's try one more time. 800 million. That's 800 million right there. Divided by 52. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, $15,384.61.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, 15K an acre.
That is definitely way overcharged. Definitely way overcharged. Okay. That makes more sense. Forget everything I said about 153. Because I would buy all the acres for $153.
Well, yeah, you couldn't buy desert land for that much.
15,000 an acre. That is, I would say that's probably inflated.
Well, yeah, but if you know your neighbors or something, they don't have to conspire. They could just see that somebody's buying up a lot of land and say, well, mine's worth a lot more money now because it's obviously going for, somebody's trying to buy this up. And they probably thought it was Disney.
Garamendi says there's no viable economic reason to justify spending several times more than what the land is worth in the first. Yeah.
Well, no, but you don't have to buy the land either.
Exactly. And that's what he's getting at. I mean, they're saying that it was price fixing and they were illegally overcharged. Why the fuck would you pay $15,000 an acre if it's not worth it?
Yeah. Obviously, you wanted the land. You agreed to pay it. You weren't required to buy it. They're not required to sell it. If you're not going to pay the price they want, which obviously is a lot, then why are you even bitching about this? You're the one that paid it, dumb fucks.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for them. That's what you get for buying up all that land to probably try to gouge it. You know what my guess would be? Honestly, they thought something was going to happen here. This is kind of the railroad coming through, you know?
Yeah.
Buy up all the land because it's going to get real expensive real soon.
Yeah, they were looking to resell it to someone else at an exorbitant markup, and it didn't come through.
Yeah, this is Blazing Saddles is what this shit is.
Yeah.
Fuck them. You paid $15,000 an acre. Fuck you. That's what you get. And it's going to take a long time for farming to get that money back. Good luck.
Yeah. And they're also probably doing this because the Air Force is investigating them.
Yeah, there's probably, I want out of this deal. Fuck
yeah,
you.
They're trying to do anything they can to undo the deal now.
That's what you get for being a dumbass. Let the buyer beware.
Yep.
Oh, God. Why are we talking about Adams? This guy's an asshole.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about him.
Fair enough. New York City mayor selects mental hospital parking lot as new shelter site for 1,000 illegal immigrants.
Well, we're moving closer to the right direction.
Yeah, just open up the... Oh, this is cut off. So New York City is preparing to shelter around 1,000 illegal immigrants in the parking lot of a mental hospital as the city continues to take on new arrivals. At a Wednesday press conference, hey, how about down at the mayor's residence?
Yeah.
No? What about at City Hall? No. They got parking lot there, don't they?
Yeah, but no. No, I thought the headline kind of nailed this one. There wasn't much more to it.
At a Wednesday press conference, Democrat New York City Mayor Eric Adams announced his administration had selected Creedmoor Psychiatric Center in Queens as the location of the city's newest humanitarian emergency response and relief center. He said this new shelter location will be used to house approximately 1,000 males who are seeking asylum in the United States. Let me guess. All of them in their 20s?
Probably. They're all military age, but there's nothing to see here, monkey. You don't know what you're talking about.
You are... good God. Officials said the Creedmoor Migrant Center should be up. The illegal immigrant center is what you mean. Should be up and running at some point next month. 1,000 people in this parking lot, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fuckers just in dirty tents.
Yep.
Where are they going to poop?
Wherever they want. That's usually where the illegals poop.
I mean, have you thought, and I'm just throwing this out there, about shipping them back across the border?
No, that'd be this is a humanitarian mission, monkey.
It's, correct me if I'm wrong, it's New York. They're really close to Canada. Push them north.
Yeah.
Go north, young men. There's a whole Yukon up there that nobody's using.
It's true.
Just go up there. Tell the Canadians, hey, we'll settle it. And I don't know how much farming they could do there, Jack, but they could figure something out.
Yeah, they could wrestle mooses or something.
Yeah. Okay, go up that way. Trudeau would welcome them. No, I don't know if you know this, Ashbringer. The Canadians are actually upset because they've started getting 1 or 2 or 3 immigrants a day coming across illegally.
Yeah, they get real bent out of shape about that.
Yeah.
But they tell us to take them in.
Guys, we're brought to you by you. Please hit that like button. Please, please, please share with your friends, your family, that bitch you hate. And if you would, consider donating to Jack or myself. Link is right there in your YouTube chat. It's also in the description of videos on Rumble and YouTube. So any way you want to do it, we're happy.
Indeed.
All righty. You know what? Fuck Mayor Adams. That doesn't sound very sanctorious. I just made up a new word. Sanctuary-esque to be living in a parking lot in New York City, in Queens.
Well, they have that stupid, because they're a sanctuary city. They said they guarantee the right to housing. So a tent in the parking lot, I guess, counts.
Weren't they just doing a whole thing to make Queens nicer so yuppies would move in there?
Yeah, but I think the only place they could put them was the mental asylum, not the yuppies, the freeloaders.
And so they're gonna put a bunch of dirty ass homeless folk, and when I say dirty, I mean they don't get to wash very often, right?
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, they do call it Spanish Harlem, sometime part of it. So
I guess, but likes to run his fat mouth, can't back up his words. I mean, he's backing them up. He's gonna put him in a parking lot.
Well, they shot down the idea of him putting them in schools like he wanted to over the summer.
I don't know if you know this, Jack, but they paved paradise to put up that parking lot.
It's true. It's true. And now it's full of filthy homeless people from another country that came here to parasitically leech off of us. So maybe we should have left it as paradise.
We haven't talked about this, but Illinois just made it so illegals can be police officers.
Yeah, I talked about that yesterday. It's disgusting. Do I have to learn gang signs now to talk to my MS-13 arresting officer, or do I need to learn Mandarin for the Chinese double agent that'll be working there?
Yes.
Oh, okay, fair enough. What if they partner together? I don't like that combination.
Nobody who's not a citizen should be a police officer.
No, not at all.
We should not have foreign nationals arresting American citizens.
On U.S. soil? Absolutely
US
fucking
soil.
Not. That's unacceptable. But Chicago's governor just signed it into law. So.
Yep. Look, California has a similar bill, but theirs does not allow for illegals. It only allows for people who are like on a work visa or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, resident.
A resident alien.
Yeah.
That still shouldn't happen.
No, and this is worse because it allows for like the DACA kids and some really crazy wording that will let illegals do it. So, yeah.
Don't worry, guys. It's all fine. It's all going to be good. I would move out of Illinois if I were you.
Yeah, we're not going to. I mean, don't be silly. There's not going to be any gang members taking advantage of this or foreign militaries taking advantage of this to run drugs or commit crimes or do terrorism. No, they're just going to learn how our police system works and totally not abuse it at all. And we're going to arm them.
How's that even legal? Because there's no laws against. I mean, they can make their own laws about how it's policed. So there you go. Americans should police fellow Americans. What sort of crazy idea is that? Look, I did watch the movie Black Rain, and it's kind of cool to have an American work with a foreigner. But that's not all of them turn out that well. Michael Douglas, Black Rain.
Yeah.
Andy Garcia getting his head cut off.
Yeah, I didn't really
in the
like
most
that
predictable moment of that whole movie.
Yeah, I thought the whole movie was kind of predictable.
It's not a good buddy cop movie. It's one
really
of the
not.
worst. One of the worst of the 80s, honestly.
Yeah.
Red Heat. I haven't watched Red Heat.
Oh, Red Heat was not bad. It's Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, not one I've paid any attention to. Over on the Streamy Labs, as soon as it loads up here, I have a donation, and thank you so much, S Cybertaz, for that. So, criminals policing, yes, DL, yeah, you're gonna have literal criminals being the police in Illinois.
More than they already are.
Thank you, S Cybertaz. Hey, Mayor Adams, I'll take one of those tents and even work for it. Storm blowing through this weekend took out a tree mine was tied to. Oh, that sucks, bro.
That blows, man.
Ah, it blows. I see what you did there. Power companies could remotely switch off EV chargers to reduce grid stress. I mean, is that any worse than them shutting off people's houses for the same reason?
Well, when Amazon does it, yeah, I mean, it's to be expected that they're gonna do it for controlled brownouts and blackouts.
Mm-hmm. Energy providers could have the option to switch off home EV charging stations remotely to reduce pressure on Queensland's electricity grid. Oh, this is in Australia. The proposal is part of the... Go ahead.
Coming here soon enough, I'm sure.
Oh, sure. The proposal is part of the Australian state Queensland's Electricity Connection Manual, which provides a framework for the grid's operation. Section 8 of the QECM proposes that EV charging equipment may be limited or switched off by operator Ergon Energy and Energex. That sounds like a disease. If it has an output of more than 20 amps, a standard domestic single-phase EV charger uses 32. Good luck with your, what's the word I'm looking for here? Green Planet. Can I just recommend everybody get a bicycle?
Yeah. And good luck with the Chinese hacking into that and shutting your cars off.
Yeah. This seems like a bad idea to me, Jack.
This seems like a really terrible idea.
I don't want anybody. I mean, look, the power company can turn the power off at any time. I get that. But this is a very direct power, a very certain thing that they can do. This would be like them saying, we have the ability to turn off your refrigerator if you're using too much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that's coming with some Wi-Fi enabled smart refrigerators. But yeah, also if you have the wrong political opinion, not only will you lose your bank account, now you can't charge your car.
How many nuclear plants have they built this year? None, as far as I know. Because, are Mini Coopers gay? I mean, I guess it depends on what you're doing in it. But they are kind of gay.
They are kind of gay. Thank you, Cybertest. My bad luck, it landed on me. Good thing I didn't need a brown sleeping bag. I like Dead Heat better with Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams. Yeah, Dead Heat was a classic.
I know I've seen that, but I don't remember anything about it. Treat was the dead guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
I know. It's not one that comes up very often.
Mm-mm. It was kind of a cheesy movie.
Yeah, it was fun, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with cheese. The use of such demand management schemes is largely unique to Queensland and is also used on residential pool cleaning machines, hot water systems, and air conditioning units. Wait, they can turn off your air conditioner?
Well, you're not going to learn your lesson if they don't.
PeakSmart gives households a cash rebate. In return, the operator can turn off air conditioners remotely during peak operating times to reduce pressure on the energy grid. Wow,
really
that's a lot of control.
Too many people are using them.
Look, one of the things that drives me nuts, Jack, is when energy systems get blown because idiots all turn on their air conditioner to 60.
Yeah.
If you need to turn on the air conditioner, especially on a really, really hot day, you'll be fine at 75. I promise you. And it'll keep you from having no air conditioner when the power goes out. Now, on slightly cooler days, if you want to turn it up a little bit because you're a little penguin, fine. Faithless says 80. Yeah, even 80 is fine.
But way too hot.
It is not. Would you rather 80 or 100 because your AC went out?
I mean, that's fair, but I'd blame the power company and yell at them a lot. I'm not taking any responsibility for their lack of planning.
It's a few days a year that people got to be like, all right, I'll do it at 75 instead of 60. How many times does your house actually get to that 60? You guys do realize that just keeping it on, it rarely ever gets to that 60 till nighttime when it's going to get cold anyway.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It doesn't make it work any better.
Don't know me.
It just keeps it from ever turning the fuck off. Just saying.
Do what I want.
Go ahead and do what you want. And then you swelter when the fucking power gets cut.
Now, look, this doesn't actually affect me because I don't have an air conditioner.
It can still affect you when other people do it and blow your power.
I know, but that's what hunting is for.
Hunting keeps you cool.
Hunting people. I mean,
no, hunting itself.
Yes.
Do they even know that above 95 people can't survive?
I have heard that. That's science or something.
That is science. That is science. It's 100 right now where I am. Nice. That feels about right. I just feel like giving them permission to turn off. Like, if you gave them permission to like put a governor on it, so that all right, it's one of the hottest days of the year. It's gonna be set at 75. Okay. But to where they can just turn it the fuck off on hot days, that seems stupid to me. I could probably live with it, Jack, but my wife could not, so that would not be a livable situation with me.
No, you'd never hear the end of that.
I don't.
Body melts into a puddle above 98.
I don't want my wife to be uncomfortable, and she doesn't keep it like really frigid either. Typical, she keeps it at like 74. I can live with that.
Yeah,
but these fucking idiots who would get, it's a hot day, turn it all the way on. You guys just screwed you realize how fucked up the electrical system is?
Well, it's not like they're going to repair anything. Thank you, Cryptic. I was in front of a grocery store. Some guy came up to me and said, "Hey, do you have a moment to help save the environment?" I said, "Absolutely." So he gave me a pamphlet. I recycled it right away. That's fair.
Should have burned it for heat. That's a good recycling right there.
Just stole his car.
Surely you know that government and business all have your best interest at heart and wouldn't do anything awful. Yeah, I know that, Spud. I know.
Fact.
So, I just don't trust these fucking people, honestly.
Oh, hell no. It's totally going to be abused probably within 5 minutes of them activating that. Oh, I hate that guy down the street from me. I'm going to shut his shit off.
This looks stupid. Being homeless is 100% a choice, just like any other experience. Like any other experience. Would rape be included in that?
Yeah. She's going to tell you about choices, monkey.
All right. Here we go.
Yesterday, I pretended to be homeless for 3 hours.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did she say she pretended to be homeless for 3 hours?
Yes, for 3 hours.
So you went outside?
Yeah, she went to like the beach, I guess. Just kind of walked around for a few hours like a teenager.
3 whole hours.
3 hours, Mike. 3 long hours. 3 educational experience hours.
You know, I was just going to bring that up, USP. We had that congressman the other day who went on a food and water strike on the Capitol for 8 hours.
So you got a real job for a day?
I don't know if you guys know this, but typically most people go 8 hours a day without food and water. It's called sleeping.
I don't know that word anymore.
You're not, unless it is unreasonably hot, you're going to be fine in 8 hours without food and water.
Amberlyn Reed would disagree with you.
Especially without food. But at the end of it, they give him this water bottle and he drinks it and they all clap like fucking retards.
Yeah, because everything is lowest common denominator now.
It's like, oh my God, you went a whole 8 hours. Yeah. Fuck off. Cryptic, thank you so much. What do Ellen DeGeneres and homeless people have in common? They don't cook because they love eating out. As Cybertaz, thank you. Like Amazon shutting off a guy's smart home? Yes. They did that.
Yep, that was disgusting.
8 hours without water, you can die, but it's 113, so whatever. It was in DC and it was like in the 80s that day. And you know what? You can go in the shade and you'll likely be okay.
Yeah. It's not like the dude was like in his 80s either. He's just he's middle-aged. Like, it was not that big of an achievement. Okay, I'm sorry.
No. And at any point he could have gone, all right, give me some water. He was doing it to protest some change to the OSHA rules, where it used to have mandatory water breaks or some shit. I forget the exact rule change, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But it's not like he was actually suffering at all. Fuck that guy and his performative bullshit.
Yeah,
Speaking
it's
of
lazy
performative bullshit, let's hear her say that again. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. I pretended to be homeless for 3 hours once. By the time I was done, I'd been appointed as the new leader of the local chapter of Antifa. Yeah. Well, that is one way to do it. Maybe grab a booby too, so you could secure your coalition.
What'd you do? Punch an old person and light a trash can on fire?
Well, trash cans spontaneously combust, monkey. They didn't do nothing.
Didn't do nothing. All right. I want to hear her say this again.
Oh, hang on. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. Debated with my stepdad about toaster regulation. I told him that the toaster should be registered for identification purposes. He asked me if I bought a toaster, would I register it? Fuck no, I laughed. You think the government isn't going to abuse that? Right?
True story.
Yesterday, I pretended to be homeless for 3 hours.
Look, she's pretending to be homeless right now, Jack.
I know. Although they probably have better cell phones than she does, to be fair.
Her name is Mandy.on.earth over there on the TikTok. All right, Mandy. Mandy, your sunken facial features bother me. I'll just leave it at that.
Wow, that's harsh.
It's not wrong, though.
I think her giant forehead and weird eyebrows bother me a lot more.
Her forehead's not giant.
It kind of is.
No,
and
it's
look
not.
at her eyebrows. They go out to the sides like a supervillain instead of going down the side of her eye socket.
All right, that part's not wrong. That you're right.
Yeah, and because
but
those are leveled.
Fairness, it's because her eyes are sunken so far into her head that it's rearranged the shape of her brow.
Oh, that's a possibility, but I assumed that was one big unibrow that she's been plucking, which would make it look like a shelf for her forehead.
And I realized that if you're homeless, you're there by choice. Like, you are there by choice, 100% having that experience.
You pretended to be homeless for 3 hours.
She's a very empathic, intuitive person. She just absorbed all this by being through the experience of houselessness for 3 hours.
Look, I think you could make the argument that a lot of bad choices led you to there. So here we go. What was it? Mandy, give away all your shit. Quit your job and start drinking heavily. All right. And then go be homeless for a while and tell me how much of a choice it is for you to be homeless at that time. Yes, you made some bad decisions that put you there, but could you just go, okay, I'm not going to be homeless anymore?
Oh, no, you see it. Mandy here. Well, she came and she gave without taking, but I sent her away. Oh, Mandy. Well, you kissed me and stopped me from shaking, and I need you today. Oh, Mandy.
Thank you, Johnny Hellcat. I pretended to be homeless for 8 hours last week. After that, my boss wondered what I was still doing there and told me to leave. Fair enough.
Did you ask him for cab money because you needed to get to a nearby town?
All right. Tell me about it, Mandy.
Just the way that I chose to go experience that by choice.
That's the way you know it's real, man, because she chose to do it by choice.
Jack, I don't believe in violence unless it's in self-defense. But there's some people who almost make me believe.
I know, but you can't blame me for this one because Irate Alex posted it. He found this trash, not me.
We're only 17 seconds into this 1 minute video.
I know.
It's just the only difference.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It's because you're so angry.
Just the only difference is
she's a formerly homeless individual monkey, and look how mad you are at her. That's houseless abuse or something.
She wasn't homeless. She went and sat on the ground somewhere for 3 hours.
But she was experiencing it like a homeless person.
No. This woman's retarded.
Cannibal said I'd fist her for $1.
The difference is the stories that you're telling yourself. So if you want to experience homelessness, you want to experience what it would be like to lose everything, you can go have that experience. Or
as Cybertaz, thank you. Rookie numbers, I've been doing that for 12 years. Well, there you go. Sweetheart, you were never homeless.
She was experiencing.
No. She still had a home to go back to.
No. See, you don't understand, man. When you go out there and you like, I'm going to experience this for 3 hours. You are that thing.
Who was that fucking retarded governor who ate on food stamps for a month?
Oh, I don't remember. I know what
you know
you're
what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we experienced what it's like to live on just food stamps. No, you didn't.
Not even close.
Because at any moment, you could just pull out the checkbook.
Yeah.
welcome to create a bunch of bullshit stories in your life that force you, quote unquote, force you into that experience. But even when you go by force, it's still by choice because you wanted to have that experience.
You wanted to get hooked on smack and then do the fentanyl crawl every day on 8 Mile. That's totally what it was, buddy. You just chose to experience that lifestyle.
Look, we've talked about the homeless, and we're not that sympathetic around these parts. But this is just fucking stupid.
I'm with Evolved. He said, I was homeless for 2 days once. It was meh. Camping isn't that fun. That's true. Camping sucks.
Camping is LARPing is homeless. I will agree with that 100%.
Yeah, you're LARPing like the old timey days. I don't know.
But go ahead.
Thank you, Cryptic. What do you call a woman that likes to have sex with homeless men? A hobosexual. I have seen porn documentaries like that.
Thank you. Bubbo says those people who had their house relocated by a tornado chose that monkey. Admit it. Look, I'm not saying she's wrong about people making choices in their lives that led them to that. But nobody's out there going, all right, I could hit this crack right here and get to be homeless like I've always wanted. Or I could not do that and keep going my job and paying my bills so that I can stay in my house. You know what? I really want to be homeless.
I want to experience it. Ugh.
And that's not even getting into the people who have mental illness that's untreated.
Yeah, that's the largest percentage of people on the street are people that are self-medicating with drugs because they're mentally ill.
Did a bunch of excuses for why you gave yourself permission to have it. It's
Oh,
just
God.
like any other experience that we have in life. It's no worse or better than having a home. It's no, different.
I don't
I'm
know. I'd
sorry.
rather like walls.
I'm sorry. Did this bitch just say that being homeless is no better or worse than having a home?
Yes. Well, they don't have all
Be-
that stuff hold you down, man.
Because she sat outside for 3 fucking hours?
Yes. She experienced it for 3 hours. You're understating her lived experience, monkey. Don't take this away from her. She went through the ringer, man. She was out there for 3 whole hours just experiencing the emotional roller coaster of hobo-ness. She tried to jump a freight car in her mind, not in real life because that was a lot of work and there weren't any railroads nearby. But in her mind, she went through that and knew what the hobos went through. She tried to fight a dog for a can of beans, and then she tried to steal some shoes, and yeah, it was 3 whole hours. You don't understand, man.
Thank you, Cryptic. I spent a week working in the Salvation Army laundry. I now know what they mean by Skid Row.
Ew.
That's gross. Jack, I'll have to tell you this offline because I cannot say this on the show.
And anything else, but the experience does show you how much you take for granted.
You sat outside for 3 hours, and that taught you how much you take for granted. You are one privileged twat.
Yeah. I have a feeling that what she intended to say that got edited out, probably by her boyfriend, was, I don't know why they just don't go home.
Yeah.
Because that's what she could do for the entire time is like, well, this sucks out here. It's kind of hot. I'm going in the house.
Spud said you can say it on stream. No, if I remember, I'll have Jack affirm to you tomorrow that, yeah, this one would get me in way too much trouble. Way too much trouble, Jack.
Yeah, well, I get it, man. There's a lot of things I want to say sometimes that yeah, this is a let them eat cake moment at a BC. Absolutely. This woman has never struggled in her life on anything.
No, all that's going on right now is that you chose to be homeless. It's not any better than worse. I know it's raining outside and the temperature is like 32 degrees, but it's no better or worse than being in a house that's nice and warm. Fuck you, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, your life is incredibly, incredibly comfortable.
All right, we got one more video here.
Before you cue that one up, thank you, Frosted Glass. Jack, I love that your vision of being homeless comes from an old episodes of Looney Tunes. Yeah, well, I've actually been around a lot of bums. There were a lot of them in my old neighborhood. And I detest them. They're gross and smelly and they poop on everything. But they would also, the smart ones would build little shelters down by the river where nobody would see them. So they didn't have to worry until the water came up and washed them away. Or as I would call it, a bath. But yes, I do make a lot of Looney Tune references.
Keldrick, thank you. The solution to homelessness is easy. Just buy a home. It's just that easy, man. I know, right?
Right?
Is the cringe over? Not from what I saw on the... I saw what the tweet was attached to this. It's not my fault, Jack. It was really quick.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I have a feeling this woman's going to piss me off.
I don't know how much you're going to get upset by this one, so...
All right. But she's talking about Kyoto, so we'll see.
Hey guys, Pasty here.
That is as loud as Stacy here gets. So sorry.
I am doing really bad right now. I'm in a field. I came to this place because it was on the top of a hill and it was supposed to be like a famous execution ground for the Japanese. And I got here and there's literally nothing here. It's just weeds, kudzu, old branches.
What What was she expecting to find?
A bunch of dead bodies, I guess. It's just some like rural place. I don't know. There's like trees here.
You know her by name, Monkey? She said her name. She said, "Hey guys, Stacy here."
Wires, a building, and me. And in general, I am super disappointed in Kyoto. I thought this would be a traveler's dream.
Have you looked around? I thought this would be a traveler's dream. I'm really disappointed. Did you look at the scenery?
She was expecting to go to a suicide forest kind of place, except for in this place where executions happen.
Yeah. They're not still killing people there. I don't know if she knew that, but it's not like they're like reenacting that or just like, hey, we're going to kill some people today. No, it's just there's a memorial out there and like a little shrine from the look of it.
Uh-huh.
But otherwise it's just a rural area where something happened. It's like going to the fields where like the War of the Roses happened, like a big battle there. It's still fucking field. You go to Gettysburg, big fucking field.
Thank you, Seal. Did you see American Flags video yet? Yes, I did. I really wish you'd stop working with Tom Calhoun. Is that his name? Whatever his name is. Because I'm not a big fan of that guy. I don't hate him. I just his voice I'm not a fan of. But the song's nice enough. And Snubber, thank you. Oh, this bitch, yeah, she hates the fact parts of Japan has country people. I don't know what to say about this chick. All right, keep going, dummy.
I thought this would be an amazing place to go to see a new culture. In reality, all I see.
I'm sorry. She was going to an execution ground to see the culture?
Yeah, because they cut people's heads off with katanas and naganatas instead of fire axes. I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. I went there to see a new culture. Well, then why are you sitting in a field talking to a camera? Go interact with some locals.
See in Japan.
She has a body pillow, doesn't she?
Oh, you know she does.
And she mispronounces Japanese words all the time.
Oh, no doubt. They expect that from the round eyes.
Cryptic, thank you. Japanese lesson. Souk on my kakaru.
So far is a scene that looks like something in North Alabama, basically one of our worst U.S. states.
How you like that, Alabama?
Right? You suddenly decided to go to another country and kick Alabama in the teeth? Fuck you, bitch. First of all, Kyoto is beautiful. She doesn't know what she's fucking talking about. So, yeah, this woman's just stupid. I expected like Tokyo everywhere. Why didn't you go to Tokyo then? It's fucking gigantic. Tokyo is a huge city. It's a mega city. You can see all kinds of crazy shit there. Go there.
I'm not.
Uh-oh.
Not sure exactly what she was expecting to a place where executions happen. That was her goal from what she told us. I just don't understand what she was expecting and what culture she was expecting to find there.
Yeah. Entitled white woman goes to other country, gets disappointed by poverty and farming. That's what this really is.
And insults the homeland.
Yeah. While she's out insulting the foreign land.
By the way, there are parts of California that are much worse than northern Alabama. All right.
I have never been more disappointed in a place that I visited than Japan. I don't know what to say.
Well, you probably shouldn't have said anything because you're kind of retarded.
Yeah, I went to a rural place where some obscure thing happened, and I'm really disappointed that it's a rural place where some obscure thing happened, and there's trees, and that offends me because I'm a stupid bitch. Don't go to a rural area. Oh my god, this is so it just really enraged me that the entitlement that we keep seeing from people. Real fast. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, her bio here is kind of stupid. Having fun online, independent journalist.
Mm-hmm.
DM me about remineralizing toothpaste. All right, go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
That's weird. Thank you, Cybertest. Stop crying, bitch. If you really wanted to see Japanese execution grounds, go to the Bataan Death March. The Philippines atrocities, rape of Nanking, everywhere Unit 731 traveled. Fact on that one. They deserved Fat Man and Little Boy. Oh, yeah, their war crimes were hideous, especially with Unit 731. But we don't talk about those things. Or the mass graves, especially from like Nanking and the Philippines. You want to see some crazy stuff? There's a lot of places you could go, but you know what? They're going to be poor, and a lot of them are going to be rural. It's a good thing you didn't go to Cambodia to see Angkor Wat because you know what? There's a lot of farm around there, and there's a lot of ruins. It's not going to be like lights and shining neon everywhere. You dumb whore. Just really disappointed. How are you disappointed in Japan? That's one of the craziest places on earth.
Because she went there being the little weeaboo nonsense that she is. Snubber, thank you. She probably assumes like tourist traps, they have plaques or monuments or visual things. I don't know what the fuck she was expecting.
I don't know, because like some plaques would be cool. Like I'm a nerd, right? In case nobody figured that one out. But a museum is awesome. Plaques on these old buildings and stuff, cool. Sometimes you just want to see the building. She does not understand or appreciate history or what recognizing history is.
I'm just expecting that she was going there, like expecting all the different ways people were executed to still be like sitting there. Like there would have been a guillotine, and over here there's a hangman's platform, and over there is where they drawed and quartered them. Anyway, Johnny Hellcat, thank you. I was looking for gameplay footage of 428 Shibuya Scramble and found a live stream of the Shibuya intersection. Before I realized it, my wife, mother-in-law, and I were watching the stream in silence for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's easy to do. I've seen those. There used to be a traffic cam website that had links to traffic cams all over the world, and I would lose hours watching that shit.
And Evolved Potato, thank you. Kyoto has some of the best sightseeing sites in Japan. It's the old capital, so it has a lot of historic temples and beautiful gardens. There are temples there that are built without nails or anything like that, purely woodworking. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, if you go to Japan, go see temples. There's some really cool ones, but this bitch went there expecting some sort of, I don't know, party or like live reenactment just for her benefit. I don't know. But you went to an obscure site, which probably the locals don't even really care about. They're like, yeah, a bunch of people died there. What's your point? And you're like, I'm so disappointed. It's all green and there's like some farms and stuff. What did you expect? What were you honestly expecting from a site that did something like 500 years ago?
I'm just scrolling through her timeline. She's not very intelligent.
Smart. No, she's not. There's a ninja battle going on. Her eyes are just too round to see it. It's true, Peter. True.
Oh God, these people. You know, I understand why foreigners don't like Americans sometimes.
Yeah, Cryptic, I get it.
Cryptic, thanks so very much. I lived in Japan, and it was beautiful if you live in the countryside and enjoy these small shops and culture. Avoid the cities and just hang out in the shrines. It's unnerving, but what is that? Oh, it's unnerving but eerie experience. I got to get my eyes checked, Jack.
Yeah, you probably need bifocals. I know I do.
I probably just need glasses in general. The ones I have are like 20 years old. They work well enough, but they're sitting over there, so they don't help me at all right now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for coming and hanging out with us today, even though we ended on a tard of a woman. 2 tards of women, man. From homelessness is your choice to I'm sitting in a dirty ass field because I made the choice to sit in it. That she was LARPing homeless, Jack. She was homeless for a couple minutes.
Oh, she was experiencing it, Monkey, for 3 hours. She got herself in the headspace and everything. Like, I have nothing.
That second girl was Japanese homeless for a little bit.
I think she was pooping, honestly.
She probably was. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you so very much for the donation. You guys are fucking awesome. Really, really do appreciate it. Anything you want to shill, Jack?
Not today, but thank you all for the donations. It's greatly appreciated. And thanks to everybody that came out for my stream yesterday and watched it. Appreciate that too.
I'm going to bed. I've started yawning again. It started right at the beginning of the show and now here at the end. So I'm going to go lay down. When I wake up, I may do a game stream. No promises. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
If you're homeless, it's your choice. Get a job, you fucking bum. That woman was outside for 3 hours. Then she went home and got her some. She was humping. She was humping. I'm pretty sure she was humping. It's not my best song, but she was humping.